Lindsey Graham passes away, Donald Trump starts the war machine with Iran, and there's a parasite that can give you explosive diarrhea. All of those things don't matter. Let's once again talk about Charlie Kirk. Being a conspiracy theorist must be fun and easy, right? You can say literally whatever you want and people will just believe you. You can say, for example, that hats don't exist, and people will look at you like you have 4 eyes and say, well, of course hats exist. Everyone knows that hats exist. I mean, I own a lot of hats, so hats have to be real, right? Then the conspiracy theorist goes on this large rant about how hats were actually created by the French government. And in French, the word for hat actually means cap, which technically means that hats don't exist. And you sit there and you wonder, is this even true? Is what this guy even saying actually legit? Now, I know that's just a silly example, but that's how it feels dealing with conspiracy theorists. They tell you something and then it makes you want to go down this large rabbit hole and try to figure out if what they're saying is true, and then all of a sudden, you're digging into some weird random crap that you've never even heard of before. And then you finally get real concrete evidence. You get actual evidence and you present it to that person to disprove them. And maybe you write it online, and the first comment that you get is, Fedslop, you're a retard. How much is the government paying you to post this? I bet you like your 30 pieces of silver. Learn to actually think for yourself, you low IQ person. Listen, I'm not trying to spread Fedslop. I'm not a retard or low IQ just because I disagree with you. And no, even though it would be nice to be paid by someone, I'm getting no money for this at all. This is all for fun. And I mean, it's interesting to think about because is that really the only comeback that you have? It almost sounds a little bit like the left. Oh, well, you can't say that because you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic. Instead of actually listening to my argument, you instantly go into, well, you must be wrong because you're being paid by the government. You're releasing Fedslop. You're doing the wrong thing. You're not thinking for yourself. I know that everyone knows what I'm already talking about. You probably already saw the thumbnail and everything, but I want to talk about the actual evidence that was presented at the Charlie Kirk pre-trial. Now, you might disagree with this, and we can talk about it once again in the comments. Because it's really interesting watching all of the information come out and be put on the table. And I know that Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk's family wanted to release more information to the public, but it was blocked by the judge, as the judge decided not to release or show different things in the case because it could tamper the jury and make it so Tyler Robinson doesn't have a fair trial. So we have to do something that a lot of people hate doing, and that's to wait for different videos, for different pictures, and for other information to come out, which I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit. We'll talk about that. But let's look at some things that were actually proven in the pre-trial. We know how Tyler Robinson actually got on the roof. I know that a lot of people that I'm friends with were asking, how in the world did Tyler Robinson get on the roof? Was he working with someone else? Did someone help him get on the roof? What is that situation? And here's a video talking about it.
Do you know how to gain access to the rooftop of the Losi building?
Yes, there's actually an outside stairway right here that comes up. It's going to be just to the south of Losi building. There's a red pathway right directly in the middle of the picture. Off to the south of that, on the left side of the picture, is an outdoor stairway.
And we also know that Charlie Kirk tragically passed away from a bullet wound to the neck.
And manner of death?
It was a gunshot wound to the neck.
Now, it stinks that I even have to play that video, but it definitely confirms that it wasn't a microphone exploding. Especially because they found a bullet in his neck. There's no way that an exploding microphone can leave a bullet in a neck. Along with that, we also have video surveillance of Tyler Robinson at the UVU campus, even though there were multiple people saying that Tyler Robinson was never even on campus that day, or even on campus at all. Here he is with the alleged rifle in his pants. Some people were claiming that that's not Tyler Robinson because that guy looked too short. According to Tyler Robinson's mugshot, he was a little bit shorter than this guy. However, his mom and also his trans lover, Lance Twiggs, confirmed that it was Tyler Robinson, based on his build, what he was wearing, all of that good stuff. And then we had another controversy on our hand, as it was determined that the bullet that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk with did not match his rifle.
The Exhibit 6A bullet jacket fragment could not be identified or excluded as having been fired from the Exhibit 1 rifle based on an agreement of all discernible class characteristics and neither sufficient agreement nor sufficient disagreement of individual characteristics. The results of the comparison was inconclusive.
Man, if only there was a good-looking podcaster that made a video about that. Oh wait, I did! Listen, this information came out, everyone was posting it online, and I'm like, I made a video about this. I mean, guys, you gotta subscribe, you gotta watch that video, it's a good video. It talks about how they said that the bullet was inconclusive. Which inconclusive does not mean that the gun does not match. It means once again that the bullet was so fragmented that it was hard to piece back together to match the gun. It doesn't rule it out, it just means that it was fragmented. And we also got real life photos of the bullet that was taken from Charlie Kirk's neck. And I mean, look at how fragmented that is. But there was still no shell casing on the roof. What does this mean?
While you were on the roof, did you encounter any spent casings?
As a matter of fact, no, that's why when I saw the prone position where a person would be laying down as a sniper, being around guns and snipers all the time, I was looking for a spent shell casing. I couldn't see one. I was looking over the edge, looking all over the place, making sure the gravel wasn't disturbed, and I couldn't find a shell casing at that moment.
Because everyone knows when you shoot a bullet, the casing flies out right after, right? Well, not for a bolt-action rifle, which I actually learned about this while doing this episode. When you shoot a bolt-action rifle, like what Tyler Robinson did, the casing doesn't just fly out. It only flies out when you pull the bolt back. Tyler Robinson took one shot, decided to run away, and the spent casing was inside the gun when they found it. We also have Lance Twiggs, who according to some people was a Fed agent because he was never interviewed by the FBI. Here he is being interviewed by the FBI. So he was interviewed by the FBI and told the FBI that Tyler Robinson admitted to him that he was the one who did the shooting. Also, remember all the weird and random text messages that were released and people were saying that those messages aren't real because they sound fake, which they sort of did. But in reality, they're real and we have the photos. Remember the confession note that Tyler Robinson made for Lance Twiggs that people were claiming was planted by the FBI. Well, that was real and we have a real life picture of it. We also have DNA evidence of Tyler Robinson all over this crime scene. On the screwdriver, on the gun, on the towel. It's literally everywhere. And yes, there is some DNA from Lance Twiggs, which I don't want to know how on earth his DNA got on stuff, but they were roommates, and so maybe they were touching it together, I don't know, but we definitely know that Tyler Robinson's DNA is on this stuff, so he must be guilty. Literally everything right now is pointing at Tyler Robinson, and I have to assume that he is innocent because he hasn't been on trial yet, but as of right now, it looks like an open and shut case. And people keep making posts and they keep commenting that there seems to be a lot of holes in this story, and I don't think there are that many holes. But for me, there doesn't seem to be a lot of holes in the story. Just from the evidence, it looks like it's an open, shut case. But we will see more when we go to trial. More stuff is going to come out, more information is going to come out, and maybe I could be proven wrong about all of this. Which apparently it will be decided if Tyler Robinson will be going on trial in September, which seems like it's 6 years away. But remember, we just have to be patient and let the legal system work. I also want to talk about the video, the big video that if it was released, it could change the whole entire case. As according to a lot of podcasters and influencers that were at the pre-trial, the judge decided to play them a video of Tyler Robinson on the roof shooting Charlie Kirk. Now, they aren't releasing this video because the judge, as I already said beforehand, is scared that this is going to taint the jury and make it so that Tyler Robinson doesn't have a fair trial. And also, according to the prosecution, a video like this doesn't even exist, so why are these podcasters lying?
No, but I think I'd like to be crystal clear. You asked if there's any portion of this video that captures, and I believe you asked of the actual shooting. There's no video of that. There is video, however, and you've heard testimony related to this, where the shooter goes to the top of the low-C building, goes out to the edge of the building, low crawls, and then leaves after what we assume is the shot being fired. That's as close as it gets.
But have you stopped to consider that this guy was talking about a certain compilation of videos? Because from my understanding, the prosecution in this video is talking about a certain compilation, and the defense for Robinson wants it to be blocked because, well, it is going to be very important to this case.
Does that video, and I'm referring to 12.1, State's Exhibit 12.1, does it include all of the footage collected by the SBI from UVU?
It does not, no.
Does that video, again, 12.1, include all of the footage you collected from UVU that captures who you believe is Mr. Robinson walking around campus?
Not all of the footage, no. That video is, again, a compilation of videos from the overall footage that was obtained from Utah Valley University for September 11th and September 12th.
And how does it compare to what's been marked as State's Exhibit 12.1?
It appears to be the same footage. However, on this particular version, there were no circles or blurs that had been made to the video.
How about zooming in and zooming out?
No, there was no zooming or zooming out.
Judge, the state would move to admit what's been marked State's Exhibit 12.4.
Your Honor, we just object to the publication of this for all the reasons we argued yesterday. We think this video is going to play a big role in the trial, and to allow the public to see it now would seriously impact our ability to get a fair trial, and we're asking the court not to publish it.
We already know back in March that the prosecution talked about how they had a video on surveillance of Tyler Robinson taking a shot at Charlie Kirk. Here's that video.
Makes his way to the sniper's perch on the rooftop, takes the shot, and then runs to the northeast, drops off the building and runs to the northeast of campus into a wooded area. That's all captured on video. Okay, that's the first category of evidence, is the video surveillance that shows the defendant on campus taking the shot.
Trust me, I want the video to come out just like everybody else. It would quiet all these internet trolls and conspiracy theorists. But we are just going to have to wait and be patient until it comes out. Is the video real? I don't know. I believe that there is some sort of video. Maybe it's not in 4K ultra wide HD, but I do think that there is video of Tyler Robinson taking a shot at Charlie Kirk because there is so much surveillance video around the UVU campus. And it's hard because everything that I just talked about are real, and they're the actual facts in the case. I know that you wanted something bigger. I know that you wanted something exciting. I know you wanted something like the French Foreign Legion, the Jews, the Egyptian airplanes, the exploding mic theory. But soon, once we get all of the evidence and all the information out, I believe all of those theories are going to be put in the waste bin. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.